New Unity project, I'm going to show you how to create a simple collection game called Losing My Marbles. So the premise of the game is simple. Each marble is a memory. When you collect the marble, they're getting their memory back. Marbles are going to be behind barriers. Doors and walls are going to be openable if you've collected enough coins. So this time I'm going to be showing you how to use the marble assets and how to get the marble to play audio when it's collected. The first thing I'm going to do over here is I'm going to rename it Marble, just so I know what I'm working with. I'm going to move this wall out of the way for a second, and I'm going to focus on the marble. Now, last time round, we made a coin collectible by changing the collider to a trigger. We want these marbles to be collectible as well, so I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to change its collider to a trigger, and as soon as I've done that, I'm going to drag the marble control script onto my marble. When I do, you'll notice I get 4 things appearing in the inspector. The first one is a checkbox, Memory Audio Enable. I want to check that because I want it to make a sound when I collect it. The sound I want it to make is whatever memory 1 is. I'm going to collect the marble. It's going to tell me something about my past, my character's backstory that I've forgotten about. So the next thing I need to do, if it's going to play that audio clip when it's triggered, is I drag that into the audio clip section down there. And as we did with the coin, I also need to drag it onto the clip itself to make it an audio source. And decheck play on awake so it doesn't just play at the start. If I go up and collect the coin now, over here, marble disappears, adds 1 to the total number of marbles I've found, but it didn't play the sound. The reason for that is because of this line here, display memory 4. This controls how many seconds the audio file will play for. It will also control exactly how long any text that's associated with this memory file appears on the screen. So for example, if I've planned something like this, memory number 1, the text is going to be this is memory file 1, and that's what I've recorded my audio as, and I've then named the audio file memory 1, except I haven't. Quickly check. Oh yes, I have memory 1, sample. Let's get rid of the sample and make that memory 1. We will need this later when linking the text up. Right now, the only thing we need to worry about is how long this audio file is. So if you click on the audio file, down here I can see it's 4.022 seconds. So I'm going to say in my marble control that this should be on the screen for 5 seconds and no longer. If I now go in and test it, this is memory file 1. It plays the audio that's associated with that memory file. The final thing I need to do, because this is memory file 1, is just tag this memory 1. Those of you who are familiar with Unity will know with the coins, you can just duplicate as many as you like and start working, because they're all going to play the same sound effect. But with the marbles, they're each going to play a different sound effect. So if you do get one set up and then duplicate that marble, and this is now going to be marble 2, if I bring it out here, just change that to marble 2, I'm going to need to go back into marble 2 and change the memory file. I don't have a second one. I'm going to have to tag it number 2, not 1, and I'm going to have to change this number here so that it's the same as however many seconds audio clip 2 is. So now you've got a marble memory, you don't want to make it too easy for the player to find it. So I'm going to put my marble behind a locked door. To do that, I'm just going to duplicate 2 walls, and then I'm going to create a new game object in the middle here, a cube. I'm going to stretch and squish this cube until it is about the size and dimensions of a door, and I'm going to leave it in the middle like that. This door is going to have the destroy door script attached to it. But before we get to that, there's something very important we need to do with colliders. Let me just move these coins out of the way for a second. If I click on the destroy door script, you can see that it uses the onTriggerEnter function, just like the coins and the marble. But if I change the box collider to isTrigger, and I move up to it, Because it's now a trigger, this is the solid wall, because the door is a trigger, I can just pass straight through it. That's not much good as a door. So before I can attach the script to it, I'm going to need to add another collider to keep the door solid. So this box collider will be used to trigger the event. The other box collider will be used to keep the door solid. I go to Add Component and I search for Col, and I want Box Collider, not the 2D version, the 3D Box Collider. I've now got two colliders on there. This one I don't check anything, I leave it as it is. Now the problem is, this box is exactly the same size as this box, which means when I hit this solid box, I'm never going to be able to get inside the trigger. There's a really easy way to fix this. Click on Edit Collider and just pull the front of the collider out. You can see I've now created this little zone in front of the doorway that I can stand in and trigger whatever event this script does. Decheck that. I can now drag the destroy door onto this cube. I better rename my cube door to keep track of things. And you can now see that I've got a box collider with a trigger that I've pulled out in front of the door. I've got a second collider that I've kept solid and not changed anything. And I've got the destroy door script. The destroy door script has only one variable, the open cost. The open cost is, how many coins do I have to collect to open the door? Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 coins in my scene, so let's make it 4. Let's test this. So now I walk up to my wall, still solid. I walk up to my door, still very much solid, and I can't get through it. Collect 1, 2, 3 coins. Go and try my door. Still won't budge. Collect 4 coins. My door is still there, but if I walk up to it with 4 coins, the door disappears and I can access my marble.